Hello to everyone who clicked on this video. My name is TayRB if you are new, and if you are not, welcome back. I hope everybody is doing good. This week I am actually recording this video the same day it's going up, and where I am it is actually raining outside, which I love. The rain is definitely a vibe for me. Stay in and be cozy, so I hope you guys are doing well today. But you guys have already seen the title, which is why you clicked on this video. In today's pick card, we're going to be looking at the first impression you make on people. So I have three piles here in front of me as usual. Pile number 1 is to your left and pile number 3 is to your right. I am going to have all of the timestamps linked in the description box down below for you guys, and I will see you at your pile. Hello to everyone who chose pile number 1. This is going to be your reading on the first impression that you make on people. I'm going to go ahead and flip your intuitive card over, and I'm going to hold it to the camera so you can see. All right, pile number 1. The first thing that I'm getting off of this first card is just somebody who is just bouncing off of the walls, okay? Y'all can be really active. You seem really fun is the first impression that you make on people. You could like to laugh a lot or tell jokes. You could like to go out and party, or maybe people really see you in that setting. Depending on what you share on your social media, you guys could really like to go out and just really have a good time, even if it's not necessarily in a club setting. I feel like you can kind of vibe with anybody. If you are put in a room full of people that you don't know, pile number 1, you are going to find something to talk about, and it's definitely not going to be a quiet type of room if you are there. Pile number 1 is the first impression that you make on people. First impressions of my pile number 1. All right, so pile number 1, people definitely, with this card here, people definitely know that you, like I said, are really outgoing, really active. You have a really strong personality, okay, whatever that means to you. But you are really quick with your words, and you don't mind setting people straight. So, and I feel like with this pile, you're very outgoing. You could be a fire sign, all right, or an earth sign, Taurus and Leo specifically. But I feel like you don't mind telling people about themselves, and I feel like the first impression that you make on people is that you are a very confident person. You are very comfortable in your own skin, and because of that, I don't think that you're gonna take no shit, pile number 1, to be honest with you, or at least that is what people who meet you think. What's going on with my pile number 1? Yeah, you're not gonna take anything less than you deserve, because you are on the path to greatness. I feel like you're a go-getter. You don't mind taking risks. Pile number 1 is what people see about you. You could be a very hard worker, and you could be very good at your job. This pile would be bomb.com in sales, bomb.com and like as far as like customer service, or making people feel welcome, or like greeting or something like that. But you don't mind putting yourself out there. You are not shy. Pile number 1 is the first impression you make on people. And because of this card here, I feel like people view you as a first impression. You could look rather expensive or just like well put together, so they know they have to come at you correct if they want to be a part of your life. Pile number 1. Let's go ahead and grab some tarot cards. I'm going to be using the Tarot of Sexual Magic, and I'm also going to be using the Erotic Tarot today. So if you don't like nudity, you can go ahead and click off of this video now. First impression of my pile number 1. All right, we have the Tower in reverse. We have the 6 of Wands in reverse. We have the Knave of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, we have the Justice card. So we definitely have some air energy on the board, specifically Libra. I'm going to go ahead and turn all of these cards upright so you can see them. But I am still going to read them in the reverse. So let's go ahead and turn these cards upright. All right, so for this card, the Tower in reverse. So the first impression that you make on people, pile number one with the Tower card in reverse, is somebody who is not afraid to lose everything. Okay, for your dreams, for your goals. You can go through a hard time or a change in your life, and I feel like you come through it with grace. Okay, with this Tower card in reverse, it's really about rebuilding after things have not gone right for you, after you have overcome obstacles, overcome loss. I just feel like nothing can get you down. Pile number one is really the first impression that you have on people. You're probably just really a happy-go-lucky person, and people feel like nothing can like penetrate your energy or your aura. And with this Justice card at the bottom of the deck, you guys are very, very balanced. A lot of you guys who chose this pile could have red hair, or there is something about your hair that really, really pulls people in, pile number one, because I'm having 3 cards with women with red hair on here. Now with this Tower card, I know y'all fine out there, pile number one. And people think because you have this energy that pulls people to you, that you have people fighting over you, right? You see this man who is getting it cracking with this woman on this car, and then you see this man running up behind him with an axe. So I feel like a lot of people think that you have many suitors, pile number one. Okay, people think about like their first impression, they think about kind of taking you out, maybe like getting you drunk because you seem to like to go out and have a good time, and kind of seeing where the night goes. To be honest, I feel like a lot of people are sexually attracted to you in this pile. You could have a lot of like stalkers or secret admirers, especially with this Four of Pentacles here. You see how this guy is kind of just fondling this woman as she sleeps and she is unknowing. So I feel like if you chose this pile, you could have a lot of people who are watching you, a lot of people who are fantasizing about you, and a lot of people who would really, really want to like marry you, or they could fantasize about marrying you with this Justice card here, or just a lot of people who feel like you would bring balance into their life here, pile number one. But the first impression that you really make on people is that you're a very, very stable person. Okay, you have everything together, and even if you come across an obstacle, let's say you lose your job or you find out your significant other cheated on you, you're just like, whatever, it is what it is, and you keep going, pile number one. Let's go ahead and continue for my pile number one. All right, so we have the Two of Water in reverse. We have the Ten of Fire. We have the Nine of Fire in reverse. And then we also have the Ace of Water. All right, bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Earth again, and it is reversed this time. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn all of these cards upright so you can see. All right, so these two were in the reverse. Okay, so yeah, basically pile number one, the first impression that you make on people is you are not hurting for a romantic interest. Okay, like if somebody were to break your heart, break up with you, move on, you could bounce back from that in the second. And as a matter of fact, like a lot of people could think that you are a heartbreaker with this Tower card in reverse and this Two of Cups in reverse. I can see that you are very, very intimidating to people. And with this card here, there are a lot of people who really don't want to let you go. If you have any exes or anybody you have left behind in the past, they are definitely stalking your social media, and they definitely want you back. So the first impression that you really, really make on people is you are a catch, pile number one. You seem really, really stable. With this Ace of Water here, you really have people who are very interested in you. With this pile, I definitely think it is something about your hair and something about your chest area here. All right, with this 10 of Wands, like I said, you guys are a go-getter, or people could know you for overcoming big obstacles. I don't know if you guys have maybe had a hard life or been through some things that maybe people on the outside looking in could have seen or heard about, especially with this 9 of Fire here and this 10 of Wands. This is like wounded warrior type of energy, but I just feel like can't nothing knock this pile down. You have an upbeat attitude. You guys are not victims. You are going to get up and you are going to do what needs to be done to create the life that you want for yourself. All right, and you're not waiting for somebody to come and hand that shit to you. All right, you are getting that shit done, pile number one. But with this 4 of Pentacles in reverse, you are not taking, like I said, anything less than you deserve, and you are cutting people off if you have to, because you've been through it already. And you are not willing to go there again, pile number one. You're not willing to be mistreated by anybody, whether that be a job, a friend, a love interest, because this pile really seems to know their worth. All right, let's go ahead and get some oracle cards for my pile number one. First impressions that you make on people. For pile number one, yeah, a lot of people think that you have a lot of romantic interest, people fighting over you, or like a lot of people who want to be with you, a lot of people who are in competition over you. We have rest, and then I'm going to take one more of these cards for my pile number one. And then we have make a vision board. All right, those are those goals coming through. Bottom of the deck, we have sound healing. Now, pile number one, you could have been like a black sheep. I feel like right now this pile is glowing up. I feel like a lot of people slept on you here with rest. Or I feel like in the past you could have slept on yourself, and you are finally starting to realize your worth. And everybody around you can see it too. It's an aura that you give off. And with make a vision board, remember when I was saying that this pile is go-getters and nothing can keep you down. All right, when you have a goal, pile number one, and you set your mind to something, people already know that you are going to accomplish anything that you put your mind to. All right, let's go ahead and continue with some more oracle cards for my pile number one. Their first impression on people. Pile number one, their first impression. I feel like with this pile, like when people meet you, they automatically want to go find you on social media, right? They want to see what you're about, see what you've been up to. They could be like scrolling back in your pictures all the way to like when you were in high school or something. Pile number one, be true to yourself. Yeah, that's what I was getting. You're very comfortable in your own skin, pile number one, and you are always true to yourself. We have your treasure is at hand, and that is falling over right over the vision board. Look, anybody who's not on your side or by your side, pile number one, is in your motherfucking way, and you are not afraid to cut people off and put them in your place, because you have your goals in front of you and you are really focused on achieving your goals. So that is one of the first impressions that you give to people. Let's go ahead and continue for my pile number one. What is their first impression? All right, we have a journey in reverse. And pile number one's first impression on people. We also have a false person. Bottom of the deck, we have pathway. Now with this journey card in reverse, this is going back to cutting people off. I feel like a lot of people who are romantically interested in you, pile number one, or feel like they want to like get in your DMs or get a chance, I feel like they think that they don't have a chance with you, or that you will cut them off. All right, cut their journey short. And with this false person here, because you have such an upbeat attitude, pile number one, people are really thinking that maybe you have like some sort of front on, right? Like maybe you're not really as happy as you say you are. Maybe your life really isn't as good as you say that it is, which of course this is just a first impression, so these people don't know you, right? But they could believe that because you are in good spirits all the time, that you could be putting on some sort of front with a false person here. But with pathway at the bottom of the deck, people definitely see and know that you are going places, pile number one. First impressions for my pile number one. All right, we have self-indulgence, focus on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. So yeah, you all in like yourself, pile number one. You love yourself, and like I said, you're not willing to take anything less than what you deserve. This pile could definitely be single, okay? And if you are not single, people definitely wish you were. The people who really, really want to come and get a chance with you, pile number one. But with this journey card in reverse and this self-indulgence, people feel like, look, you love yourself and you are the number one person in your life. And if anything is compromising that, like, you're just not gonna fucking go for it, like, period. All right, and then we have seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third-party interference. All right, pile number one. So people think that you are very, very seductive. Like I said, you have a really outgoing personality and you just really pull people in with your aura. This pile could be very, very physically attractive here. Like I said, it's something about your hair and just something about your chest area and really something about your body. People really, really fantasize about having fun with you and taking you home, pile number one. Bottom of the deck, we have talking, interested, conversing more, awaiting, message, arrives, text, call, email, and hovering. So you have a lot of people who, after they meet you, they want to get to know you more. They want to text you, they want to talk to you, they want to call you. And for this pile, I'm thinking that you could be thinking, well, hey, Tay, I don't have nobody in my DMs. Nobody's reaching out. And it's because they're intimidated, pile number one. And it's because they think that you are going to turn them down off of first impression. So let's go ahead and in your reading with these cards here, first impressions for my pile number one. I'm going to be pulling 5 of these cards because your reading's getting a little long. All right, so we have high maintenance. All right, so, and then we also have heartbreaker, which is what I said earlier. Yeah, people think that you are high maintenance, and it's probably because you are a go-getter and you are so focused on your goals that you just achieve them and keep going, and you don't really need or want for anything, pile number one, especially when it comes to the people who are in your life. You don't depend on anybody but yourself. We have I am insecure. So when the people come around you, they are insecure around you, pile number one. You make other people feel insecure in themselves because you have such an outgoing, bubbly personality and you are on your shit, pile number one. You know, it's nothing, right? Just pile number one shit. All right, we have great sense of style. So people think you have a great sense of style, and that is going back to me saying that you just look very well put together. And then the last card we have is I have sexual fantasies about you, which we already knew that, pile number one. Is people have sexual fantasies about you. They think about taking you home. They think about doing the nasty with you, and even people who are in relationships, because one of these cards said third-party interference. So if you meet somebody who is in a relationship already or has somebody, like, they are still very, very attracted to you, pile number one, just off of first impression. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Hello to everyone who has chosen pile number 2. This is going to be your reading on the first impression that you make on people. So I'm going to go ahead and flip over your intuitive card. We'll hold it to the camera so you guys can see. All right, pile number 2. You guys are really, really chill. I feel like you guys are in your own little world. You could be really shy if you chose this pile, but not intentionally. I just kind of feel like you don't open up to people. who you don't know necessarily. And you probably are in your own little world, pile number 2. And this is side note. This is not a first impression, but this is just something that I am getting about you. You could really, really like nature. You could really, really like animals. You could have pets if you chose this pile, more than one specifically, or want more than one pet. But really here in this card, I see somebody kind of being stared at. All right, stared at by the people around them, but their head is in a book or on a computer. You could be very, very introverted if you chose this pile, or you could really, really kind of be into nature, kind of like a green witch. Maybe you go to like the forest or something a lot, or maybe you're just like in your room playing video games, or just like have your head in a book or a computer, or just really not paying attention to the people around you. But I feel like you're very attractive, pile number 2, as far as people who kind of have their eye on you. Now, we'll get back to the first impressions in a second. But first impression, I feel like, let's say you go out to dinner with a group of people, pile number 2, and you're just kind of, I don't know, maybe like on your phone or eating your food. I feel like this pile is very, very present in themselves. So you could not notice, like maybe somebody's flirting with you, pile number 2, and you're just like, oh, you know, they're just being nice or whatever. Yeah, I feel like you don't see how poppin' you are, maybe. Or the first impression that you give off to people is somebody who is very, very humble, right? Like you look high maintenance, you look well put together, and you look like you should be like cocky or like really, really confident, and you just give this vibe of you just real chill. It's a really, really nice vibe, really, really humble vibe here with pile number 2. Like you guys can make a lot of money or wear really, really nice things, but you're not the type of people to like post it on Instagram or Facebook or show people, because you're just like, that's just not your vibe. You're just like in your own little world. This pile could be very, very spiritual. So first impression off of you is that, I don't know, like you really, really follow your intuition and you're divinely guided. And I know that's weird for a first impression, but when I say that you are off in your own little world, I feel like people just think that, not that you're from a different planet, but you just have like other things to think about here. And people could feel like you're really, really closed off, especially with this card. Like they really have to get to know you, and you're really, really mysterious here, pile number 2. And you're really, really slow to open up to people. You can only open up to people who you trust. And I feel like it kind of pulls people in, right? Like it makes them really want to get to know you, because you are very physically attractive here, pile number 2. And I think people like that. Well, obviously, right? People like that you're physically attractive, but what they like more is the humbleness, right? Like you're kind of somebody who is like hot shit, but doesn't know that they're hot shit. And people dig that. You have like an innocence to you, pile number 2. All right, first impressions for my pile number 2. We have the Empress. I knew y'all was hot. I knew y'all was hot shit out here, coming up as the Empress card, okay? All right, we also have the Fool in reverse. We have the Justice card in reverse. And then we have the Four of Wands in reverse. Bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Cups in reverse. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn these all upright so you can see them. All right, so let's flip this one and this one upright and this one upright. So, but do you see how most of these cards, pile number 2, are people alone, right? So in these first 3 cards, like they don't have people in them, and in these last 2 cards they have 2 people in them. But this is just going back to me saying that you are in your own little world, but you guys are beautiful coming up as this Empress card, okay? Very physically attractive. Okay, your entire body, your face, you could look really, really innocent in the face. I'm being shown eyes here. There's something about your eyes. You could really come across really, really coy or just really, really humble. With this Fool card in reverse, you could be a very, very optimistic person, but a lot of people feel like they might not have a chance with you, pile number one. I feel like that you're very, very smart, very, very intellectual, and then when you open your mouth and talk to people, they can sense this. So I feel like a lot of people might not feel like they have a chance with you here, or they don't have a chance with you because they don't fit in the little world that you have created for yourself. You're very divinely, you could be very, very intuitive if you chose this pile too. With this Justice card here in reverse, can't nobody hold you back or tie you down. All right, but like I said, this pile is just, I feel like you're very, very balanced. All right, I'm being even told to read this Justice card upright. You could be an air sign, you could be a Libra, you definitely don't have to be, but with this Four of Wands here in reverse, I feel like people just feel like that they don't really have a chance with you. I feel like whatever you're studying, you could be really, really just career focused, or really, really just focused on the things that you like and the things that you want. So I feel like a lot of people could feel like that they don't have a chance with you, but I feel like a lot of people really, really want a family here with you, pile number two. Yeah, you give me a really, really mysterious vibe. I'm going to go ahead and pull some more tarot cards because I don't want to make your reading too long. All right, we have the Queen of Air falling under the Empress card. So you can definitely be air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But yeah, this pile is very, very physically attractive. And you guys have the Fool again in reverse. That's crazy. Landing right under the Fool. Synchronicities. Yo, I feel like all right. So so we have the Seven of Water. It came up in reverse. And then we also have the Two of Fire. It came up in reverse, but we'll put it upright. Bottom of the deck energy, we have the Ace of Air, which is the Ace of Swords. Yeah, you aren't going to accept any bullshit. You don't mind really like cutting people off, pile number one. I'm sorry, pile number two. Now, check this out. People off of first impression, and this is going back to you being humble. People off of first impression feel like that you could have people like under your spell, right? You're really, really seductive. You're really, really beautiful. You could really control people. You see how this girl has like this puppet in her hand? Like you could really control people. You could really, really manipulate people, but you don't, right? Because you're really, really humble, or you might not know this about yourself. Like you could be out here, I don't know, dating 5, 6, 7 people and getting all your bills paid, but it's just like you're not interested in that, right? You're the Queen of Swords. You're very, very smart, very, very intellectual, and you are very, very precise in making your decisions. With this Seven of Water coming up in reverse, first of all, you have a lot of people looking at you, pile number one. Pile number two. And you have a lot of people who want you. You see how this woman is showering, and there is this figure here behind her, and she's unaware that they are looking at her. You have a lot of people who are watching you and who probably fantasize about you, pile number two, and you guys are just oblivious to it. This pile could really think that not that you're like insecure or anything, but you could really think that like nobody wants you, or just like you're just like a normal regular person, but you are really this like beautiful butterfly, and you just really have this graceful kind of like aura about you. And you guys are very, very smart here, pile number two. Very, very smart. And a lot of people put you up on a pedestal, and I don't even think that you notice this about yourself. But going back to first impressions, so first impressions of you, pile number two, is that you sexy, you amazing, and you're very, very humble about it, very, very quiet about it. Let's go ahead and get you some oracle cards. I kind of wanted to keep going on tarot, but like I said, I don't want your reading to get too long here. You guys could have dark hair if you chose this pile. Long, dark hair. See what I'm saying? Give yourself much more credit. Like, y'all are sexy. Y'all are hot. And I feel like you tone it down. You tone it down, or you don't see it about yourself. And you know, people really notice that about you. Like, damn, pile number 2 is sexy and she don't even act like it. Or maybe people expect you to be like cocky, right? Maybe you do know this about yourself, and people expect you to be much more confident and much more cocky and much more just like out there, and you're not. Like, you just chill. And then it has, you'll find what you seek. So you're very into your goals. You're very into the things that make you happy. Pile number 2. Yeah, y'all could definitely be introverts. I'm hearing diamond in the rough if you chose this pile. Let's continue. Those who chose pile number 2. All right, we have positive affirmations. And pile number 2. I'm not going to take 2 cards. I'm going to be taking 1 more. And then we have build strength. So yeah, with these cards, and then we have create art. So you guys could be artists, or like I said, just really into your craft, whatever that is for you. So with this pile, you could really, like I said, be into nature, really into art. You could be really into technology, like video games or something like that. But this pile, you are really smart. You probably have a degree, or really like school if you chose this pile. Definitely doesn't have to be. Or you're very intuitive and connected with spirit if you chose this pile. I'm just noticing on these 2 cards, you see the third eye on both of these cards. You guys are very intuitive, and if you don't know, now you know. Pile number 2. But with positive affirmations, you're a very positive person. And with build strength, you could be just very physically attractive if you chose this pile. Like, your whole body is kind of like on point. You could even like to exercise a lot, especially if I said, like I said, you like nature. You like to get out into nature, or just take walks, or exercise, or just like keep yourself healthy. Pile number 2. Let's go ahead and grab some more cards for my pile number 2. And I also notice on these cards, like both of these women, that their eyes are closed, but their third eye is open. So you really just trust your intuition and you trust yourself. But what I'm also hearing in my ear is that you sleeping on yourself, pile number 2. Like I said, some of you don't know how much of hot shit you are, and that's how you come across to people. Like, they just really think that you're this beautiful, amazing person, and I feel like some of you don't see this about yourself. Not all, but some of you. All right, we have expectation in reverse for pile number 2, and then we also have unexpected income in reverse. Bottom of the deck, community in reverse. So now with this community card in reverse, like I said, you could be introverts. You don't have a lot of friends. You don't have a lot of people who you open up to. And I'm hearing that, what song is that? Cardi B. I don't know the title of it, but in it she says, what is it? Like, I make my circle smaller so it never fits a square, or some shit like that. But basically it's just like, you don't offer your friendship to everybody. All right. Unexpected income in reverse. You don't spend your money on dumb shit. Okay. You aren't very, you don't flaunt like your income or whatever, right? So if you get like a designer bag or something like that, like I was saying earlier, you're not going to post it on Facebook. You're not going to waste your money on just like dumb stuff, because you're really smart. And this is just going more into your like personality. But I just feel like people feel like you are really smart with the decisions that you make, pile number 2. And with expectation in reverse, like people expect you to turn them down. All right, people don't expect for you to open up to them, because they know that you're a very private person. All right, we have girl with the snake, empath, and narcissist, being charmed or used, enable, and then boundaries. All right, so like I said, you guys could be very, very spiritual. You could definitely be an empath if you chose this pile. We have separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future. All right, pile number 2. So going back with girl with the snake, I feel like you guys could be narcissists, but you're not. You create boundaries and you really, really stay to yourself, and it could be because somebody snaked you in the past. Now I know somebody wouldn't know that off of first impression, but you just seem really, really closed off to people. And then we have separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, and unsure of the future. Yeah, with separation, like I said, you just seem like you're just not taking applications. Pile number 2, you could also have like resting bitch face if you chose this pile, and you could be, you're still real sexy, but you're just not going to let everybody in because you value what people bring to the table, especially people in your life. We have the butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, inner child healing and growth. So you guys are really a butterfly. You're a really, really beautiful, vibrant person, and you have this humbleness to you, and I love it. It's such a good energy. Pile number 2. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull from this last deck. One card already fell out when I shuffled. It said expensive. So you could come off really, really expensive to people, or how you like nice things. But these are people who are going to be meeting you officially, because like I said, you guys probably are very, very stable, have a lot of money, and you buy yourself nice things, but you don't flaunt it. It says, I want to reach out to you, but I am afraid of rejection. See, pile number 2, people really, really want to reach out to you. They want to be your friend. They want to know more about you. We have you are perfect. And I'm already knowing that just when I go back to, like I said, the way that spirit is showing you to me, just like your entire body and just your appearance, the way you look. Some people feel like you are perfect, and I feel like it's just because you are hot shit physically, but you are also very, very humble, and it's very, very attractive to people. Pile number 2. All right. And then we have very closed off, which is what I said earlier. Yeah, you don't let everybody in. You don't let everybody know your secrets. You don't let everybody know like about you. Pile number 2, only the people who you are close with. And then the last card I have is shy. I'm already knowing pile number 2. All right, so that is the last card that I have chosen for you. Pile number 2, bottom of the deck, is I can feel your energy. Yeah, you guys have a really, really good energy. Pile number 2. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. So thank you so much for letting me read for you today. Hopefully you resonated with it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Hello to everyone who has chosen pile number 3. This is going to be your reading on the first impression that you make on people. All right, I'm going to hold your intuitive card up to the camera so you can see it, pile number 3. First things first, you guys, man, your energy is a little hard to tap into. All right, first impression that you make on people, though, is somebody who is good at making choices for their future. You could be very, very open if you chose this pile. Maybe like an open book, which is kind of funny because I just said your energy was kind of hard to tap into. But you guys are really good at releasing things that do not serve you. And I know that's weird to say for a first impression that you make on people. But yeah, you seem like somebody who has been through a lot, right? And you don't mind talking about your struggles. You don't mind talking about what you had to go through to get where you are today. And it's very, very inspiring to people. Pile number 3 is the first impression that you give off. You guys are very, very hard workers, okay? And look at this, as soon as I say that. But you guys are very, very hard workers, and you had to fight, pile number 3, to get to where you are today. And y'all could write a book on your life and it would sell, god damn it. Like, you guys have been through some shit and you don't mind telling people what you've been through, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? About sharing your life experiences. So I feel like if somebody were to go to dinner with you, pile number 3, you would have a very relatable story to anyone who was going through anything, right? If anybody comes and say, oh, I'm having a problem with this, I'm having a relationship problem, and you'd be like, girl, I had a same person treat me like that, and A, B, and C, and don't feel bad about yourself because I've been through it and this is what I did to overcome it. Like, you guys are that person. For pile number 3, you just are. I feel like you can relate to a lot of people, but you can relate to a lot of people with your own life experiences and the things that you have been through, because you have been through a lot. Pile number 3. All right, let's grab some tarot cards. First impressions of my pile number 3. All right, we have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the 6 of Swords. We have the Temperance card in reverse. And then we have the 2 of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, we have Death, transformation, and that's exactly what I felt. You guys have been through some shit, pile number 3. I'm going to turn these cards upright so you can see them, the pictures in the upright. But I feel like you guys could have come from poverty, you could have come from lack, you could have not been dealt a good hand in this life, but you have transformed it, and you are a hard worker, and you've created balance and stability in your life. Very, very hard workers, very, very busy. You are good at juggling, and I just feel like your story is inspiring to people, pile number 3, and you don't mind sharing it. Okay, physically I feel like people wonder what you look like without clothes on. All right, so you could be very, very tempting for some people with this card here, with the 6 of Pentacles, with these apples here. People are very, very interested in what you look like without clothes on. And I don't know, but I'm just getting the sense that a lot of people have seen you go through a transformation, but you have worked your ass off for it. And I know that's weird for a first impression, but I feel like when you meet somebody, like I said, you're an open book, so you don't mind telling people your story. You don't mind telling people about the things that you've been through, because you have nothing to hide, pile number 3, because you're very comfortable in yourself. You're very comfortable in your skin, and you are not ashamed of anything that you have had to deal with, anything that you have been through, and you really do it to help other people, and you really do it to inspire other people. So if you come across somebody who has been through a similar obstacle than you have, then you are going to pretty much tell them how you overcame it, because that's just the type of person you are. You are going to tell them how to transform their life into something better, pile number 3. Now, you have a lot of people who are very, very interested in you, very, very physically attracted to you, as well as all the piles. I feel like all of y'all are really physically attractive, but you have people thinking what you look like without clothes on. I don't know if you guys are really like modest and you maybe like cover up a lot, or you wear like a lot of clothes, you don't show any cleavage, but I feel like people really want to know what you look like in those little special places, pile number 3. Let's go ahead and pull some clarifiers. And I feel like you guys embrace change. You guys really, really embrace change. All right, we have Strength. We have the Chariot. Woo! Look at all these major arcanas coming through. Queen of Fire. And then we also have the 9 of Wands. Yo, y'all are fucking fighters in this pile if you chose pile number 3. And then we have 3 of air. Yeah, I really felt that. Y'all have been through something and you have not let it keep you down. Pile number 3, you kept moving forward. You could definitely be a fire sign if you chose this pile, coming up as strength and the Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But you don't have to be. But you seem to be very confident, right? Like, I just heard in my ear, like, you never forget where you came from. So although you have overcome these obstacles, you don't act better than anybody else, pile number 3. You, with this 9 of fire here, this is the wounded warrior. You have fought to where you have gotten to today, and you seem very strong to the people around you, or the people who first meet you. You seem very confident. Okay, this pile could be business owners. All right, this pile could definitely, like I said, you could write a book about your life and that shit would sell, pile number 3, because you have a lot of life experiences that not everything, or that, I'm sorry, excuse me, not everybody has gone through that could really motivate them. You could be motivational speakers. Okay, there's something about your voice, pile number 3, that draws people in. But you have not had it easy here with this 3 of air. You've dealt with heartbreak, you've dealt with backstabbers, you have dealt with people who just have not treated you right and being like left out in the cold. And instead of being embarrassed by that, or instead of not wanting to talk about it, you use that to your advantage, pile number 3, and you use it to inspire other people. Very inspirational, pile. I am loving this energy that is running through me right now. You're very good at moving forward. And with this camera right here, like I'm saying, look, y'all could be stars. Okay, if you don't know, now you know. And I feel like the first impression that you give off to people is the advice that you give to people. They think that you could do this professionally. All right, you give very good advice, and I think it just comes second nature to you. Queen of fire, very, like I said, very confident person, very beautiful person, sexy person. I feel like you just draw people into you, pile number 3. Let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards for this pile. First impression on those who chose my pile number 3. God damn, pile number 3, you making me feel some type of way, and I love it. I want to cry right now. I really want to cry, because y'all have been through some stuff and you guys have really transformed into beautiful people. Like, it's amazing. Pile number 3. Let's see, we have plan a vacation. And what else for my pile number 3? I'm going to be choosing 2 of these cards. And then we have read. Remember when I said y'all could write a book? People would read about it, okay? We have sweet treat. Yeah, people are very drawn to you, and people definitely will listen to what you have to say, pile number 3. With plan a vacation, people wouldn't mind going off on an adventure with you, because they know that that shit would be lit. Basically, you would have stories for days. You are somebody who I would love to ask to just like lay down in the bed and just be like, yo, pile number 3, tell me a story, because you have stories and experiences for days. So people would not mind traveling with you, okay? And I feel like you're going places with this like plane here. You guys are definitely going places. And with this read, you could be very smart. You could like to read books, but I feel like if you were to write a book, like I said, on your life experiences, that shit would sell, period. All right, first impressions of my pile number 3. Yeah, you guys are definitely open books. Very open people. All right, we have turn on your love light. And let's get one more. Am I taking both of these? We have you're being watched by loving eyes, and love is the reason. Yeah, you guys are very compassionate, very loving people, and I feel like although you've been through a lot and you've had a lot of obstacles, you always come back to your heart chakra. And I'm hearing in my ear that your heart chakra is very, very open, pile number 3, and that you have not let any of the things that you have been through taint you as a person. You really have love and compassion for yourself, and you really have love and compassion for other people. And people can feel that. People probably come and talk to you about their problems. You could definitely be a healer if you chose this pile. People are very, very drawn to you. People feel comfortable talking to you off of first impression, and people really do want to talk to you. And it's just because you have such an inviting energy, pile number 3. Let's go ahead and get some more oracle cards for my pile number 3. First impressions for my pile number 3. Let's see, we have high honor. See, people put you on a pedestal, pile number 3. What else? We have marriage, and people feel like you are marriage material because of everything that you have gone through. Not even just everything that you have gone through, but you're very physically attractive to pile number 3. And people feel like you have a very, very level head. We have message in reverse. And then we have poverty, right? Like I said, you guys could have come from poverty. You guys have not had it easy if you have chosen pile number 3. But with a message in reverse, you could have still some people intimidated to reach out to you. Some people thinking that you might turn them down, even though you are such a loving and compassionate person. But I feel like if you are not interested in somebody, you are the type of person who would turn them down in a very, very loving way, where they might still even want to talk to you, still even be your friend. But with marriage here, there are a lot of people who definitely view you as marriage material off of first impression, just because of your energy, your personality, your aura, and you just seem like a really, really loving person. And I'm not sure what tarot, I mean, we had the Queen of Wands pop out, but I'm definitely also feeling Queen of Cups energy, right? That loving, motherly type of energy with this pile. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys are water signs or have heavy water in your chart, pile number 3. All right, what else for my pile number 3? Their first impression on people. All right, we have stabbed in the back, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. Yeah, so you guys have been, like I said, you guys have been through something. You've been stabbed in the back. You've been let down by people in the past, in relationships and friendships, by your family, or just by anybody. And you guys have overcome those obstacles. We have keys on a ring, many options, decisions, unconventional, strung along, one night stand. So people really think that you have a lot of options out here, pile number 3. They really feel like that whatever you say is very, very inspiring and very, very profound. So you have to have a lot of people out here checking for you, right? And I think this is why this message card is coming out in reverse, because pile number 3 has to be snatched up, right? You gotta be taken if you chose pile number 3. God damn it. All right, we have Cupid's arrow, have faith, love is coming, surprise invitation, or meeting and hesitation. So people want to take you out on a date, pile number 3. First impression, they want to take you out. They want to get to know you better, and they want to go off on vacation with you to get to know you better, type of thing. So you have a lot of people off of like first rip who are just very, very interested in dating you. Gonna take one more of these cards. Man, I feel like I was only supposed to pull 2 of these cards, but for this pile I chose 4. So we have the Golden Mirror, self-absorbed narcissist, one-sided relationship, and love bombing. All right, and then we have boat at the bottom of the deck, receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure, issues. So With the boat, you guys are really good at moving on from things that have hurt you in the past. Now, with the golden mirror, with self-absorbed, some people that you meet off of first impression could, I guess, maybe feel like you're a little bit too open or okay with sharing things about yourself. And these are people I'm hearing who have triggers and who are not secure in themselves and kind of take it as you are self-absorbed, or you like talking about yourself because you are very, very open. But that is not the case at all, pile number 3. But most people view you as a very inspiring by telling your story. All right, so let's go ahead and grab these last cards for my pile number 3 on your first impression on people for pile 3. Oops. All right, we have you are perfect. So some people think that you are perfect, pile number 3, and then we have I can't stop thinking about you. So you definitely leave a lasting impression on people that you meet, pile number 3. We have those eyes. So there's something about the eyes in this pile. You can have really big eyes, you can have color eyes, or there's just something about your eyes, pile number 3. And then we have you're out of my league. So you can make a lot of people feel like you are out of their league, pile number 3. And it's because you've overcome so many obstacles, and it's because you have so many accomplishments, and it's because you have come from pretty much nothing and you have turned it into something. And it is very intimidating for some people, pile number 3. And let's go ahead and get one more card for my pile number 3. We have you give me butterflies. So you, at bottom of the deck, I am insecure. So those haters who feel like you're sharing too much, it's just because you make them feel insecure of themselves. And it's because I'm hearing that a lot of people want to be victims, right? A lot of people want to blame other people for their problems, or blame other people for why they can't overcome things or be great in life. And you have gone through so much worse, pile number 3, and you are successful. So for those people, you trigger them, okay? But for when you give me butterflies, you definitely give some people butterflies, and these are people who are want to date you, probably the ones who are really scared to approach you, pile number 3. This is a very, very beautiful pile. I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.